Good morning, Liberty County. We're here once again at our county annex to bring you the COVID update for our local communities. I really wish I had good news for you, but I don't. I guess you've been watching news like I have, the national news as well as the local news. You will hear in a minute some numbers. I think Mayor Brown's going to give you some specific numbers that our numbers have increased exponentially even since our last gathering. So that's not a good thing, which requires us to, of course, to remember to abide by the rules of compliance. The other day I saw two things. Some counties are doing like mass Liberty County, so we'll call ours mass Liberty County, but nothing I saw was to follow the 3 W's. Let me see, can I get it right? Wash your hands, wear your mask, and watch your distance. So wash your hands, 3 W's. Wear your mask and watch your distance. That's all practice of 3 W's, more so than we ever have because of where we are. I follow the science too. I believe that the more we do that, the sooner we'll have some kind of containment on this virus. None of us have the crystal ball to know where we're headed, so we're all being cautious, trying to do the very best that we can. We don't want there to be anything that we're not doing to help to contain it. So let's all be a committee of one and then a community of one, so that we will ensure that we're doing our very best to contain this. We don't want our in Liberty County, I think there are 2 deaths now in Liberty County, and we are thankful for that. But there are more sick people, and then we're finding more young people are being exposed. So we're looking at all those parameters. We just want to bring that to your attention, bring it to your forefront, and ask you to help us to help each other so that we will once again help to contain this as much as we possibly can. I'm going to yield now to the Mayor of the City of Walthaver, Honorable Larry Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Liberty County. Good morning, the citizens of Walthaver. I wanted to let you know that the City of Walthaver passed an ordinance on last night that we will take effect on Saturday, July the 18th, 2020 at 8 a.m. And the ordinance is a face covering or mask wearing into city public buildings and to local stores and businesses. And like Chairman Levitt said, the numbers have thrown us in an odd position, but as we continue on to do our social distancing, washing our hands and sanitizing, I think and pray that we have some better numbers for you. So at this time, I'd like to yield to Mayor Alan Brown, City of Hinesville.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Good morning also to Liberty County and Hinesville, Georgia. We are the nerve center, so even though, some of you people are out in the county, most of you come into town for some reason or another, do business or whatever, so we're all one. As most of you are aware by now, last Thursday, July 9th, City Council of the City of Hinesville voted to require face coverings or masks to be worn in public within the city limits of Hinesville beginning on Saturday the 11th. By the way, we requested a very soft rollout. It's more for education and encouragement than anything else. But I'll talk a little more about some numbers in a minute. So I know this is not a very popular decision with some folks, and very rarely are decisions of this nature going to be popular. I do want to say that to the citizens of Hinesville, I want to say thank you for your patience, your understanding, and adherence to the new emergency order. It's not a decision we came to lightly. However, this is something we feel strongly can help our community stay healthy in the long run, and it's not going to last forever. It goes until the governor's order runs out, the current order, in about 30 days from the day we passed it. I think it's on the 11th of next month. At that point, we can stop it, or we could stop it before then if we needed to, or we can extend it. But right now it expires on that date. Time will tell how much of an impact masking has on our case counts. At last count this morning, we have over 300 cases and 2 deaths. I've said many times up here over the weeks that we'd had 1 death, and that was 1 too many. Now I have to say we've had 2, and it's 2 too many. That we had 95 cases cumulative 30 days ago, and now we have over 300 cumulative. I think it's 301. So it has spiked, and we need to be concerned and aware of that. So again, I want to go over the order just a little bit, the basics of it, because people want to know. If you visit City Hall or any other City of Hinesville buildings, you have to wear it. Some of the other government buildings also require it. Visiting restaurants or other retail or commercial establishments in Hinesville, you need to wear it. Attending events where there's groups of 5 or more, you cannot be and you cannot be more than 6 feet away from people who live with you. You got to wear it. Visiting anywhere that does not have social distancing measures in place, you need to wear it. I think most people are pretty much doing these things already. I have noticed in the places that I frequent, like Kroger, for example, that the percentage has gone up pretty dramatically. In fact, I was in one day recently, and of all the people I saw in the building, I saw one gentleman without it. I think that was on Saturdays. I didn't say a word to him because it's not my job, but he was distancing. I give him credit for that. I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions that come up, so there's 2 or 3 I want to try to give you answers for while I'm standing here. There are exceptions to these rules, and they're listed in paragraphs 4 and 5 on page 2 of the emergency order. And paragraphs 4 and 5 on page 2 has the exceptions. This is not just cause for us to dig into each other's medical history and personal lives. If someone says they're unable to wear a mask due to health reasons, that should be the end of the conversation. It certainly will not. It will be for our police department. That should end their conversation. Small businesses will have the opportunity to apply for grant funding. It's available now to offset costs brought on by this emergency order or any previous COVID orders with our community development department. Applications and details are currently live at cityofhinesville.org. Funds will be awarded until they're exhausted, and we've got enough that many businesses can benefit from that, from the cost of the mask and some other costs. The $1,000 fine listed in the emergency order is a maximum. We're not suggesting that you're going to be fined, if you get fined at all, $1,000. That will be determined by the judge, and our goal is to not have any tickets. This emergency order will be lifted when the governor's public health emergency expires, and I've already said that. That's on August the 11th, or when the mayor and council opt to lift it, whichever comes first. I will say that I've noticed on the news that the governor and somebody in our previous meeting online from the health world said that the governor's supposed to come on Friday with some new things to discuss, and it very well be that he may move to the same thing, but we'll see. This order is not forever. It will be constantly evaluated and reassessed on every opportunity. Many questions have been raised regarding whether these orders are in conflict with Governor Kemp's orders. We've been looking into that, but as I say, in the meantime, he's seemed to show a concern by the spike and maybe coming out with some new orders. So if you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to contact the city. You can also read the full order at cityofhinesville.org. Thank y'all for being great citizens in both our city and the other cities and our county. Let's all stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. Just a couple of quick things to share, I guess, from the county administrative side. First, good morning. The mayor mentioned the case count that has climbed in the coastal district. The coastal district now is up to a case count of almost 6,000 for the coastal area. Of course, the largest of these is Chatham with a little over 2,900 cases, 2,901 to be exact. Put these charts out there that are shared with us by Coastal Health District every week during our calls, so you can see the cumulative cases and you can actually see the rise from day to day as these occur. Next slide, please. The next slide is particular to Liberty County, which are just the Liberty County cases. Again, just like the first graph shows those cumulative cases along with the daily count and that increase. So you can see that this time last week we actually had kind of started to level a little bit, which was a little bit encouraging, but at this time the cases are continuing to go up. Just want to make sure you know that this data, along with other data, is available on the Coastal Health District website. That site address is covid19.gachd.org. And on that link, you'll find the information also concerning the testing locations, the dates, and the times. Specific to Liberty, the Health District tests by appointment only now on Wednesdays and Fridays. That you can schedule these online or by calling 912-230-9744. Diversity Health Center, also locally here, test without appointments Monday through Friday from 9 to 12 and from 2 to 4. Their number is 912-877-2227. Our general offices really have experienced no changes since we reported last week to you. Masking is still required by our employees that are working under a county policy. In addition, any facilities that we have inside of Hinesville, Midway, Fleming, and Walthaver would be affected by those local orders where masking is required by everyone entering the building. Everyone is asked to mask, and if you don't have one, we will provide one for you. Court facilities, the Chief Justice this past week did extend the judicial state of emergency until August 11th, 2020 at 11:59 p.m. This means there will continue to be no jury trials or impaneling of any juries by any court until that order expires or is extended. Recreation, there's been really no change to the status of recreation activities right now. Since we last reported to you, the board will be making a final decision, in fact, tomorrow evening at their regular meeting on fall organized sports, and we'll use both CDC and state health officials' guidelines and their considerations under the matter. I do want to mention that we do have a congressional runoff that's scheduled to occur August 11th countywide. Early voting for that will start on July 27th. We'll talk a little bit more about that next week, but COVID guidelines and COVID screening will be in place at the precinct locations and at the early voting locations, and again, more about that next week. I mentioned commission meeting, the schedule for tomorrow night. These continue to be virtual at this point unless you specifically have an agenda item that you are scheduled to address. General participation or attendance by the public is not allowed at this time, and a maximum of 3 persons per item that is scheduled on the agenda is being adhered to. We are still practicing those social distancing and accessibility protocols. And just let me say that everything is being captured live on Facebook for our meetings, and we're happy to be able to provide that. My hat's off to our production staff, our IT staff, and everybody that has worked so hard to make this happen for you. We look to keep that up going forward. In closing, much like these other gentlemen, I want to thank the public, our departments, and our local government partners for working with us through the process together. And I want to also encourage you to keep practicing those sanitization, distancing, and masking in order to protect others and encourage others to do it to protect you too. As we've all found out, this type of virus affects everybody a little bit differently, and it's better just to be safe, I think, right now than sorry later. With that, I say thank you and God bless, and I'll turn it back over to the chairman.
Any questions, George? Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, citizens. If you have questions, please send those and we'll respond to you quickly as we can. I just want to remind you, that we have to be vigilant. There's no time to let up. We know it's summer and people want to be social, do all those things that come with summertime, but this is a different summer than any that we've had since, I think, 1918, whenever the Spanish flu came through. So we ask you to be mindful of that, and just as we teach our young people, teach ourselves the 3 W's, wash your hands, wear your face coverings, and watch your distance. So until next time, that's it from this very fine group of gentlemen who I'm proud to call my friends and my cohorts in this effort. I do want to once again applaud the city of Hinesville, the city of Walthaver, the city of Midway and Flemington for being proactive in their new masking ordinance, and I would hope that we can all be one band, one sound, and that our commissioners would come on board. But even if not, you don't have to have the government to tell you what to do. You need to follow the 3 W's. So let's that be our goal, our mission, that Liberty County will be spared. I heard on the news that Governor Cuomo is coming to Atlanta, or he offered to help the city of Atlanta. And here's what I saw with that. I said, now, there was a time when New York was a hot spot, so obviously there's just been a transition. So the governor from the hot spot state is coming to help out the mayor of the city of Atlanta, which of course is in the state of Georgia. So how many know that what's in Atlanta can make its way down to Liberty County, Georgia? So we need not let up. These are serious times in our lifetime, so let's all be vigilant. I heard Mayor Baker say one thing. I'll add that too. You know, add the 3 W's, then let's add the P to it, and that's prayer. Let's all pray for our communities. Be safe and be sound. Thank you. Until next time.